welcome to the Elder Wand, a Harry Potter podcast. Well, I
Hey,
guess it's a Pottercast too, right? It's a
we got
podcast
pots and
about Harry Potter.
yeah,
I am Matt.
and I'm the guy who knows about pots and urs and how they fit together in a pod, and that's me, Ez. So Matt, we're back, kind of doing a little Patreon. Thanks for sticking with us as we roll back into this. We wanted to talk about the Fantastic Beast, and I'm not talking about Matt or myself. Yes, we know we're fantastic beasts, right? We get it. All right. You don't have to toot our horn.
Yeah,
Horns.
so I had never seen this, to be entirely honest. I'd
Right.
seen maybe a little bit of it on TV. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I wasn't a super fan of it.
That is okay. I would say there are people right now who are going, I'm with you on that. And there are some people going, how dare you ever say anything bad about a Harry Potter? You know?
Well, it's not that. So I guess the thing is I didn't
It's not
necessarily.
Harry Potter is the problem, right? I mean,
No, actually,
okay.
I was okay with it not being Harry Potter. I actually just don't think it's a good. It's a well told story.
Yeah.
My issues with it. So first of all, let me just get the good out of the way because I'm sure everyone's like, "Oh, Matt's you're passionate." I think that it's a cool first step. I think the plan is to do 5 of these movies,
Yeah.
and they're just coming out with number 3. Um, so I think it's a cool step. I like the characters. I
Yeah.
like that we're seeing Grindelwald. I like the world we're diving into. I like that we're in America. It's different, and there's cool tie-ins. Oh, they're saying Hogwarts and Grindelwald and all this
Yeah.
stuff, which is cool. I just sort of thought that the story was not told very well
Mm-hmm.
in this because they don't ever really give me a reason for motivation behind the characters. Like it felt like I was jumping into halfway through a book,
Mm-hmm.
and they almost to me treated it like I was supposed to know who some of these people were and why they're important. It's like the only thing we know about Newt Scamander going in is that he wrote Fantastic Beasts. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
one line,
Right.
and then poor Bettina, right? Like
Right.
she it why is she so concerned about catching Newt Scamander? Why is she in trouble at work? Like you get so that some of this stuff's going on, but they don't ever really like tell you or
Mm-hmm.
give it weight or give it importance. I mean, the best is Jacob. I mean, Jacob and Queenie's like the best part of the whole
Yeah. Yeah.
of,
It
of the,
is.
of the whole thing. Yeah, I mean they're the
That's
best part of
just
the whole thing.
And that's a kind of that's more of a straightforward thing. You actually get this guy who's just sort of caught up in it or whatever, and it's the comic bit that follows. That's actually why I like it so much. Is Jacob? Jacob is one of my favorite characters, and I love that he and Queenie are a thing. Wait till you see the next episode too. We'll do another follow up for that. It gets better, and people are really theorizing and speculating as to what's going to happen in the third one. But you're right. That is one of the biggest things, and you are just kind of because I remember when I first watched it, I had to think back as you were describing this to me. I was like, yeah, really? Now that I've seen it a few times, I get it. And I'm seeing like the news, like when you started off, like there's a newspaper, right? Almost like the Daily Prophet, and you can see all the headlines, and you're supposed to pick up some context there. Grindelwald, things that are happening, the wizarding community being exposed, and like, I think you don't pick it up right away, but later on you figure out that like Tina is really worried about like they're on edge in America because the potential exposure of the wizarding world, like the
Right.
secrecy stuff. And here is Newt Scamander with this case, and she's freaking out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's a little awkward between her and Newt.
Yeah, they just don't. To me, I didn't feel like they really explained a lot of. I just like, explained a lot of that and why it was significant, especially because we're coming from Harry Potter, and it's like, okay, they really do a great job, even in the movies. You know, because I really watched most of the movies before I read the books. I felt that hey, they did a really good job of explaining like hey, Voldemort was a big deal, and people were scared. They were in hiding,
Right.
all of this stuff, but all of the little, the little like tiny day of life stuff, they do a good job of explaining, right? Like a muggle versus a half blood versus a mudblood
Mhm.
versus, all of these different,
Nomaj.
right. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
they said in this one. But
Yeah.
then Newt says muggle, and so it's like, okay.
Right.
But there's like one line in there where he talks about how he thinks it's ridiculous that they don't in America, they frown upon the magic the magic community marrying muggles.
Muggles. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just like a one line in passing thing, and then it's like never really, brought up again.
Right.
Then they bring up that what's her Queenie can read
Mhm.
people's minds, but in the Harry Potter movies, like they explain it more. Like they
Yeah.
explain like, oh, like in the first movie we see Harry talk to a snake.
Mhm.
Okay. And I know it gets explained more in the books, but in the first movie, Harry talks to a snake, but it's presented in a way that's like, oh, then we find out that Harry is magic and can do all he's like, because Hagrid says, I'm sure there's things you've done in your life that you couldn't explain, but
Mhm.
they were from you. Okay,
Right.
cool. Then in the second movie, so then in the second movie, oh, they say, oh no, that's actually a bigger deal, and they go more into parcel tongue and this whole deal. But it's still explained enough in the first movie to where you can just be like, it's a magic thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I just felt like in this one they didn't. It's just like, what's going on, man? It's all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. They just needed more kind of it's
Context.
context, and they do just sort of run with the idea that, well, you should know this is. It was almost like it was really made for the hardcore nitty gritty. Even if you're a hardcore nitty gritty fan, though, which you are, and you're into like the nerdy stuff, we know all the terminology. I even remember still playing catch up, going, "All right, wait a second. Like, I know who Grindelwald is. I understand who Newt Scamander is, but what is he doing in America? What's the tenseness? That's like, why is it so tense there? Who's this Greaves guy? It is sort of like I don't know, in a
Right.
weird way, you're trying to figure all of that out throughout the film and
And
figure
that
out
all
how,
feels like it's going on in, like, the other room, but, like,
yeah.
sometimes you have to walk in, it's like when it's like people are having a conversation in the other room and you're in a party and but you're doing your thing, which is, okay, we're trying to track down all the beasts that he's lost, and
Mhm.
then at the same time, like, well, I need to go into this other room to grab something, and you go in, and you're, like, picking up half a conversation, but then by the end, that's the conversation, is like, the whole deal, and
Yeah.
so, like,
I what
they
yeah.
were going they tried to do too much in this movie, but
I
again,
think
I
go
think it's a
ahead.
great block.
Yeah, okay, okay. I think what they were trying to do, that piece that you're mentioning right there where, like, a conversation's happening in the other room, I know what you're talking about because I think they were not saying they executed it well, but, like, um, Newt is it's supposed to be that he kinda stumbles into that conversation going on in the other room, like, he just loses his creatures and by accident, stuff is messed up and Jacob gets involved, but really it's the Greaves thing is already happening. He's already investigating the Salem uh, thing, like, I don't know what are they
Right.
called? Yeah, the lady, the crazy lady, and they're hunting.
Anti-witch community, right.
Yeah, yeah. So he's already looking into that, looking into these disturbances that are going on, there, yeah, in New York City. So,
Yeah, but again, I did like it. Like, there was a lot about it that I
mhm,
thought was cool and could be cool. And then everything I've heard is that the second movie is like way better. Because the second one, I've seen some stuff, right? Like the second one and I thought she was in this one. The girl who ends up being Nagini, is she in this one? She has a cameo.
uh, if
Hey,
she does, I don't remember,
when
but she might.
when Newt gets brought in by Tina to like almost having like a council of all of the, like, looks like world leader
Oh.
magic leaders, they focus in on this one Asian woman. I think
Oh,
that's the
I think it's different. I think it's I know you're talking about though, but I think it's different. Um, but yeah, you're right though about like the whole Nagini piece and like the connect, so like some of the tie-in in the next film, which is really cool. And yeah, it's gonna get tied into. It's really just weird. Like it's almost like you want to do a story on Grindelwald and Dumbledore and the war and things that happened, but she wanted a lens to like look through, which would be Newt and the Fantastic Beasts and kind of that lens that they're just this one part where you don't get the whole picture, you don't understand everything. That's why it feels kind of strange. I mean, like in Harry Potter, it was different because it was you like again, it was a kid learning about all this stuff, but like he's the chosen one. It's all about him. Whereas like it's Newt's not the chosen one. Whatever. He's just kind of hearing bits and pieces about this greater war and conflict that's going on, and we're really picking up about it. Whereas Potter he's central, he's essential, and he's the center of the story there. And so like characters come to him and present him information, and he gets all the prophecies are about him and everything. Whereas like Newt, when we follow along with him, he's just trying to figure all this out. And sometimes it's him and Jacob, and he's a nomad, and he doesn't
He's a
know.
muggle. Let's call it what it is.
He's a muggle.
You know what? I'm getting sick of this no match business.
Yeah, Matt's like, that's
okay. It's muggle.
Don't change my Potter terminology. Okay?
Exactly. And that's the American one. And I'll go ahead and say it's wrong. Okay.
It's wrong. I mean, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I get why, because I wasn't really sure how they see. For me, I go back and I'm like, I like Newt because of the Hufflepuff connection. I like the fact that he's there's a comedy to it. It's sort of whatever. It's actually one of those movies that like now that I've seen it enough, I can just throw it on and pick it up wherever it comes in. It's just kind of on for background stuff. It's not really. I'm waiting for the good bits with Tina and him or Queenie and Jacob.
And JK wrote this.
I think she did. I think she did.
I think she wrote all the movies.
Yeah, which is why
at least
like, it's a terrible,
Well, I mean, she's obviously amazing at writing books. She just might not be as good at writing movies.
No, I know.
It's a different thing.
And again, she's gotten better. Because again, that you learn, right? If you don't have experience doing it, I don't know that she had a whole lot of experience.
Writing for TV is totally different than writing for books. And she wrote the books. I mean, she talked about how she like planned it out for years. She planned it out before she started writing the books. But yeah, I mean, the characters that like really the issue for me wasn't the characters or the setting or cinematography or like CG or any of that stuff. It was just there was like a lack of
understanding and
right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I mean,
a hot fudge sundae, without the hot fudge, it's just ice cream. Ice cream is still good, but it's not a hot fudge sundae. If you're promised a hot fudge sundae and you just get ice cream, I mean, it's still good, but it's not what you were told.
I know. And I told you before too, I think that people just got the reason they came in and watched the film and they got the attention that it got was because it was advertised as a hot fudge sundae. Okay. And that it carried that title. It carried the whole backing of this. Oh, this isn't a Potter film. It's in the wizarding world. It's in that universe. So it gets a lot of people to roll over and watch it. And they rolled with it. I think people rolled with it and said, we're happy to have more Potter. And so a lot of it got maybe some of this, what Matt's bringing up gets overlooked a little bit, but
Rotten Tomatoes has a 6.8 out of 10 for fan reviews, and Metacritic has a 66 out of 100, which is right where I'd rank it for me. I mean, I know that's a D plus, but that's where I'm at on it. It's a D. I mean, I wouldn't rank it over a single of the other movies, including I think probably Chamber, which is probably Chamber. When I say Chamber of Secrets, is probably the worst Harry Potter movie. It's the worst out of like a great 8 movies. I mean, it's one of them has to be lowest. Right. I would still watch Chamber of Secrets over like 100 to probably like 500
a bunch of other
movies.
Yeah. I know.
But if I had to pick one, that would be the one I would watch the least. It would probably be Chamber. But I would still rank Chamber above this.
Yeah, you know what I liked about this movie? I actually like the score. I actually like the music a little bit because it's different.
But the Harry Potter theme comes in.
Yeah. And I think that's great too. But it also tried to be different but close, and it was interesting, and so I kind of like that. And again, it was just an expansion of the world is its major pluses, I guess for me. The acting was good. The actors did a great job. Jacob does an awesome job, the guy who plays Jacob. And it's yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying it's better than any of the Potter films either. It is. Do I just like, I mean, it's almost like, do I enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoy watching it. I'm not saying it's a great film, clearly, but like I don't dislike it.
So
I
is
just
do you think the second one's like way better?
I don't think it's way better. I like it though. I like it. It is probably a better, more thrilling, suspenseful story, and probably makes a little bit more sense maybe.
Because the third one
But
looks awesome.
yeah, it looks awesome, and this one, the second one definitely picks up. But see, for me, I go back and I watch this one, and it's really, uh, I don't know, it's got some good feels. The moment where they're eating and like Jacob first meets Queenie, and
That's great.
like once you get to all of that, you're like, okay, it's I kind of get it, and then something is being explained. But up until then, I could see people checking out and saying, I'm out on this. Like it took too long to get to those moments, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or whatever. Which or that I don't get it. I can't wait that long for Tina and everyone to kind of explain it. But yeah, I don't know. The second one is good. I like the second one. I don't know that I like it better though. I mean, I think it's a better movie, but I think if I just like we're talking two different things. Like, is it a better movie? Yes. Is it one I would watch over the first one? I just like the first one, you know, for
Right.
some reason to get the
Would you rank the second
feels.
one over any of the first 8?
Um, hmm, probably not though. Probably not. I think I'm
Right.
interested to see what you think in the second one. You might
I
really
think
like it.
I have a feeling I'll really like it.
Yeah.
I think I like this movie as it's, I mean, it's a building block. It's sort of how I view it.
Yeah.
It's a good building block.
Yeah.
I doubt that I'm ever really going to go back and rewatch it until I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing like the whole thing or something. But
Yeah. 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 I mean, the bits that are neat too, like just getting to
the
see some of the like
comedy is there. The
yeah.
comedy is there, and it's funny when it's funny. The guy who plays Newt, I because I'm looking at some of the other people
Yeah.
they potentially. Matt Smith was a candidate for the
Mhm.
role,
Mhm.
but I actually think I like this guy more because he's
It's
got
kind of
this.
weird.
He's really weird. He got this really
Yeah.
weird, like,
Yeah.
tick to it, and I think that he's super cool. But I'm interested to learn. I definitely want to learn more because I like the history of everything and
Yeah.
seeing how Newt Scamander's involved in Grindelwald because everything all we ever thought was it was just
I know. Yeah. That
it was like Dumbledore just duels him and that's it.
right. That is the hook. Is that she's like you kind of figure out from this movie and especially the next one. When I'll just put it like this, like all you had to do, this is a big setup. And so the reason the next one is better is freaking Dumbledore steps up.
Dumbledore's in it,
I mean, like,
right?
what, you know?
Yeah,
And when he starts speaking, you're like, okay, this
but it's
is
gonna be
another,
5 movies.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
So,
plan,
and I know this third one got delayed. And there was a bunch of issues with Johnny Depp and things, but
right?
hopefully they get this lined up and they go right into 4 and they've got stuff
Well,
kind
the
of
guy who's
penciled out.
playing him, God, I always forget his name. The guy who's gonna play Thrawn, or is Thrawn, he voices him,
Matt,
Lars,
oh, yeah.
whatever his name is. He's gonna be, or no, is it him
It's
or is
Matt,
it the other?
Mads, let me see.
Mads. There's like 3 actors who I
I know.
always view as like the
Mads
same
Mikkelsen.
person. Mads Mikkelsen is
Yeah. I think he's
he is in he's in Rogue One.
right. Yep. Galen Urso. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's so Mads is playing. Yeah. Why did he replace him? Okay, he replaced Johnny Depp after the actor lost a major libel suit relating to abuse allegations by his former
Right.
wife, Amber
I
Heard.
think
Okay.
yeah, Amber Heard. Right. She's in Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, he took over, but I don't know. I think they were waiting to see how that kind of came out, which is just crazy. Both of them are out of films, which is nuts.
Yeah, I know. So it's like I haven't looked into it enough to know, but it seems like there was
Yeah.
bad stuff on both sides, which is just totally
Yeah.
totally unfortunate. But yeah, Secrets of Dumbledore looks freaking awesome. I mean, and then we go to Hogwarts in the next movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Ezra Miller's character, does he get sort of, because he gets explained more, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, in the next
Yeah.
one, and because I saw him in the trailer.
Well, the next
Yeah.
one actually. So you talk about it. So this will be interesting. It is confusing. So like the next one, and I think they're trying to throw in this element of like, okay, why is Newt involved? Because we're all coming at this from, again, the Dumbledore Grindelwald war. People are saying, Dumbledore, you
Right.
need to move against Grindelwald, and he's like, sorry, I can't. I'm not going to. And people are like, wait, why? And so Newt's involved. Then you start to figure out like, okay, now there's an X factor here. Grindelwald was in America trying to find someone in Obscurial who's attached to this boy, and use him. He wants to use his raw power. So now, what you kind of caught on at the end of this movie is he's still alive. Like you get the little remnant, little whispers, the little smoke. It looks like he's possibly still alive. So that's a bit of a spoiler for Matt. But I went ahead and told him like, yeah, it's you know, I mean, you've seen clips from the other movie, like Ezra Miller's in it. So
Right. So the plan for these was originally at least a trilogy, if not more. I would expect that it's going to be more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope so. I'm all for it. I think if they want to do 5, I think they should do 5, or if that's how they have it penciled out. I think it'd be fantastic. Fantastic beasts.
There we go. No, I think there will, because I think I think it's going to do good, because for starters, a lot of people are going back to movie theaters. It hasn't been announced if this will come out to HBO Max yet. But they are releasing, because The Matrix was the final movie that was supposed to be part of the big HBO Max. You can watch it on HBO Max, or you can watch it in theater type of thing. But with Omicron, it seems like they're really pushing up just how quickly you can get a movie from theater to HBO Max. I think to sort of counter Disney's wait 3 months and then you can watch the next Marvel movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Because The Batman, which is their first, like Warner Brothers, I would say first mega movie of the year, it comes out in March, and then in April you can watch it on HBO Max. So this movie comes out in April, which I would say is Warner Brothers' second mega movie of the year. You might be able to watch it in May on HBO Max.
That'd be awesome. That'd be freaking great. Yeah, because the whole going. I mean, it sucks. I want to be able to go to the theater. I love the movie.
The only movie I've seen in theater is Spider-Man.
Me too.
Since COVID.
yeah, me too. Which is crazy. It was worth it. But
yeah, fortunately, I live right next to a very small theater that like isn't a nobody's ever there in the first place, and so there was like 12 people in there when we went. We went like a week later to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, it's getting the numbers, because I was over in Germany when I went and to see it, and like they're still doing all the separate chairs and spacing, and it's like you can't even book a full theater in a lot of places, and I'm like, wow, and it's still killing it.
Right, and here it's just whatever, whenever.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was telling Lottie, I was like, it's like the freaking Wild West, and like. Yeah, I was walking into the store the other day, and she's like, don't forget your mask. I was like, yeah, okay. Right on. I mean, I do wear my mask, but
I do too. I know, but out here out here people are like, oh, whatever.
Crazy.
I got my third vaccine, man. I mean, eventually, once you get 6, you get a free pizza or something. It's like you get that punch card.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
So as soon as I get that, but. Yeah, so it seems like it'd be pretty cool. I think 2022, in all honesty, is going to be a big year for Harry Potter, because we should be getting more on the Harry Potter video game that's coming out next year, and we should be getting some other stuff. And remember, I know this is totally news that a lot of people don't necessarily care about, but I'm telling you, it's a big deal, and why it's great for Harry Potter is the mega merger happening next year of Warner Media leaving AT&T and getting merged with Discovery Channel, which is going to be the biggest deal in the world. And I actually think it's one of the reasons that they're letting the Batman come to HBO Max like a month afterwards. And I bet they'll do the same with this, is because they want those HBO Max numbers to look as big as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be surprised if sometime next year there is an announcement that we are working on a Harry Potter HBO Max show. I
Please.
would next. It all depends on whenever that deal goes through, but the minute it goes through,
There's been whispers of it, right? I mean, that's
right.
there's
Yeah,
So
the minute that deal goes through, I'm telling you, it's gonna be like, because we're already seeing it. If you look at Warner Brothers' big properties, it's like DC, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. Those are like their
right.
big three. I'm telling you right now, Harry Potter is gonna be right up there as
Yeah.
one of the as
Well,
one of the things.
I mean, you have Harry Potter. If you want to continue, like 20 years later or whatever you want to do, with the Potter story, you can do that. You've got J.K. If J.K. Rowling, if you want to use her, cool. If not, whatever. I don't know what the deal is there. She can keep working on Fantastic Beasts and then let somebody else do a series or whatever. A new kid comes to Hogwarts or something. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Wizarding World franchise, man, I'm telling you, they're just gonna keep pushing it, through
Matt.
the thing. It's a big deal, dude. I'm
Matt.
telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you want? I think of like Star Wars and all the standalone stuff that they do and the little shows, whatever. Like, I'd watch a freaking animated series about kids going to Hogwarts or going to the candy shop or going to Diagon Alley or freaking getting their
Yeah.
wands. I mean,
Right here. So January 2021, it was reported that Warner Brothers was reviewing pitches for a television series set in the Wizarding World to debut on HBO Max. And then of course they just had the Return to Hogwarts thing
right. Special. Yeah.
earlier this year. And yeah, I'm telling you, man, just wait for the,
Yeah.
I gotta look up it hasn't been announced yet. Of when the HBO or the Warner Brothers Discovery merger is going to happen. But when that happens, one of the biggest deals that Discovery Channel has is they have an enormous foothold in their streaming service in like Latin America and like a lot of like second, third world countries for whatever
Mhm.
reason. I don't know why. But like Netflix and a lot of these other people do not have as big of a foothold there. So that's one of the like reasons for this thing.
Yeah.
So once that happens, that's a boom,
Markets.
bigger worldwide audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is cool. I mean, and again, and what, like, if you look at Fantastic Beasts, that's what they're doing. They're going to Germany. They're going to Brazil,
Right.
Portugal. I mean, open
And
it
you
up.
look, and you look at it, they've already got, so they're three, like what they're three mega HBO Max has three sort of mega, Warner Brothers has three mega franchises. It's like Game of Thrones, it's got a show.
Yep.
DC has like a ton of shows and movies and
Craziness.
stuff going.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is the only one sitting there being like, we're ready.
We're ready. Yeah, and you've got people like Tom Felton mentioned again, and I've seen it multiple times. He's down to come back as Draco, an older Draco, and do something. Doesn't matter. He's down, man.
Well, and
And
these streaming shows are just like the future. It's all everyone wants.
yeah,
It's all people want to do is these streaming shows. I mean, you're seeing, I mean, think about the fact that you're now seeing like it used to be you were a TV star or you were a movie star. That was it. It's like some people crossed up into movies, but pretty regularly it was like, here's your TV actors and here's your movie actors. And once you made it to movies, you did not leave movies.
yeah,
But now you see these people that by old standards would have just been, no, this is a mega movie star. They don't do TV. They're doing Netflix shows and
right.
Amazon Prime, these streaming service shows. I mean, the fact that Henry Cavill is doing a Netflix streaming show should tell you everything you need to know. It's like that guy's like a mega movie. He's Superman. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Superman. Yeah,
20 years ago, Superman does not do a TV show unless it's the TV adaptation of Superman,
right.
because
Right.
they can't get into movies.
Yep, I know, you're right. It's crazy. It's game changing. The whole streaming stuff. So yeah, but they'll bring the movie. So what you're saying is we've got movies, right? Harry Potter movies. We've got actors. We've got people. Like, let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's.
You could do something. You could do something in the 1800s. You could do something in the 50s.
Absolutely.
You
Well,
can do whatever you want.
the Hogwarts Legacy thing, that was supposed to be set like what, 100, 200 years or something.
The game?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I think, an older.
It's still in development. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the setting was supposed to be earlier, but I was all for, like, just give us a whole new some other crazy story that happens. So
Yeah. Now the only thing that's kind of weird is I don't think like the rights for this, the rights for Harry Potter, I don't think are like the rights for other intellectual properties. So like Sony owns the TV rights for Spider-Man. They can do whatever they
mhm,
want.
mhm.
They could make a movie a month if they wanted, and there's nothing anybody can say.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think Warner Brothers owns all exclusive like TV movie rights to Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
So what I think they can tell George R. R. Martin we're doing this, whether you like it or not. Now they're going to work with him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of like how Disney flat out bought Star Wars from George Lucas. I think J.K. Rowling has more input and gets to say quite a bit more about it and might be able to sort of say yes or no on projects. I don't think they own it outright like they
Mhm.
do the other things. But I could be mistaken on that. But I tried actually looking it up the other day, but I couldn't see.
Hmm.
It's like there's nothing really definitive anywhere to sort of state that.
Yeah. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, did J.K. Rowling sell rights to Harry Potter? Uh, Sold the film rights for the first 4 Harry Potter books to Warner Brothers. That was back when they were coming out and everything.
Right.
Um, huh, okay.
And then at one point
Mm.
it looked like Warner Brothers actually leased or gave away the rights to NBC to air it on television.
Hmm.
So like that's why the Harry Potter movies are on like NBC owned channels.
Mhm. Yeah.
But like and why I think you can also view them on Peacock, but NBC does not own Harry Potter.
Mhm. Yeah.
Warner Brothers, I believe,
Gosh, J.K. Rowling is one
has
of the richest people in, like.
oh, it's insane. She's a billionaire. Yeah.
Yeah, she has made an absolute fortune. Richer than the queen, they say.
Is
Which
she
ain't
the richest is she the richest person in England? I'm
sh
sure there's like some hedge fund person or something that
I
is.
don't know though. They were I mean, I didn't see her. I don't know. I don't have a list, but they said she's made an absolute fortune. Wow. So just sell it. Let people, like be involved or go on Twitter and fix what you need to fix. And
Yeah, I think she still has a lot of say in it. I think she has because I
I
mean
know it's
here it's like
Fantastic Beasts she is, yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Well, hey, in
So
the Return to Hogwarts,
yeah,
she wasn't they kept showing, like, from
I know.
2019 stuff, and people said that was her team that just said, "No, we didn't think she needed to be in it because of COVID, or we thought we had enough," and so they kept her
Right.
out of it, and then people took it as they were trying to distance themselves from her,
Right.
but yet she's still making the Fantastic Beasts movies, and everyone's hype,
Right.
I don't know, whatever.
Right.
So,
I know.
I'm gonna go watch it.
I'm gonna watch it, right, regardless. Whatever is what it is. But I honestly to God have not read enough into it. I don't really know who said what or anything to be. I just know people are kind of out on her. I have
Yeah.
not I have not taken the time to go, okay, what did she say?
Matt and I cover too many fandoms.
I cover too many fandoms to just cover everything that
We
every
can't
person
keep
said.
up with George R. R. Martin, buddy. I
I'm
mean,
just
my god.
I'm here for Harry Potter, man. So that's where I'm right. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at on it. But yeah, so I mean, it sounds to me like I mean she's down with getting checks. So JK, let's get
Yeah.
it going here. Let's get a Harry Potter
Make
HBO
some money.
Max show.
Exactly, exactly. And also it's just cool because it really is a good story. People love it. It feels like a safe kind of Hogwarts is safe. Right? It's the safest
Hmm.
place. And it's a kid story. You feel like you can grow up there, learn some lessons. And so continue that on, bring it out for another generation, bring back the old cast if you want to. I really wish they would do that. I really wish that
Chris,
if they want to
what's
be
his name?
involved, then
Chris
yeah.
Columbus says he wants to direct Cursed Child.
Wow. Wow. We've got to read. I need to actually read that because that was something I was just
Yeah,
like, Matt and I think you were Googling some stuff the other day about it. And I was like, wait, what?
yeah, it's
What
weird.
happens?
It's like Voldemort's daughter, and all I've ever heard is that it's awful.
It,
That's all anyone's ever told me. But then I've heard that the play is really good.
yeah. 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 I don't know. I'm down I'm going to have to read it. And also, friends, we will have Matt watch Puffs at some point. It's another play. I have it. I bought it. I can gift it to him. He can watch it. It's freaking hilarious. And anyone who hasn't seen that, shout out to you guys. Go take the time and watch that because Hufflepuffs is amazing. It's a comedy, and it's all about the Hufflepuffs, my friend, and it is literally hilarious.
I'm
So,
down. Hey, LeBron's a Hufflepuff. He says so right in Space
yeah.
Jam.
Yes, he does. Yes, he
Have you seen
does.
Space Jam yet? It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they fly
Oh, yeah.
past the Harry Potter world.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
I
It was
mean,
good.
first of all, can I just say something? When
Mhm.
LeBron was putting his team together,
Right. He passed on Gandalf.
he and Dumbledore.
Or was it? Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Was Dumbledore on his list, or was it? Yeah, I think Gandalf was on his list and Dumbledore wasn't.
What? Well, that's probably because Dumbledore is favoring all those Gryffindors, and he's like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm Team Hufflepuff." So
Now, who would be the best person? I'd go get like Victor Crumb, man. That dude's freaking
yeah,
Quidditch champion, LeBron. I mean, what are you doing?
right, right. He's a really good Quidditch player, and he's also a Triwizard champion. So big deal. Yeah, I don't know.
Who is? Oh,
Victor.
he's not the Triwizard champion.
No, no, he's just one of the
Oh, he's one
four
of the
champions. Yeah.
right. I will say when I rewatched Goblet of Fire and you see them all doing backflips and stuff to get in, I'm like, and then here comes, when they run in
Oh yeah.
when they're making their entrances. I mean, the
Right.
girls are like dancing and jumping, and
Right.
here comes Crumb and all those, and they're doing backflips and all that stuff. It's like,
And he just
what kind of physical education do we do at Hogwarts?
nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. We have a frog choir. We are a true arts school. Okay. Gosh. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? And then Quidditch is all played on like a broom, like
But everybody
from
plays
the
Quidditch.
comfort of your broom.
Now there were some funny Quidditch jokes in this which were funny.
In what? In
There were some funny Quidditch jokes in this movie. That I can't. It's like at one point where he's in the. He says, I'm trying to remember something. He's in the. It's like early in the movie because I watched it just last night, and so I'm trying to remember everything that I saw. But somebody asked him like, "Are you like a seeker?"
Oh,
or something like that.
Yeah,
because he's like right.
I forget what he says, but yeah. That's funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, connections to Quidditch. And see, those are cool. Like that's the bit that like, okay, some of those quick kind of, mentions are cool, but then as you said, what is
Right.
Ilvermorny, right? The school Ilvermorny. I was like, all right, cool, Can we see it? Like, are we ever gonna see it?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. One last thing about the movie I didn't like. They also didn't necessarily do a great job at like explaining the beasts. Like they're just kind of there and they're just kind of like causing mayhem.
Yeah.
But like they don't necessarily. I feel like we got more explanation of like why beasts are important in the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
I mean Buckbeak, man. He's a hippogriff. It's a big deal.
I know. Yeah, Hagrid seemingly was better at like explaining stuff. I don't know. It felt like it was a different time, and maybe Newt is trying to explain like, oh, that they shouldn't be exterminated because she's like, is this an extermination guide? It's like,
Right.
what? Like
right.
So,
also, what's going on at Hogwarts? They just don't know how to keep their beasts in check over there.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Newt gets kicked out. Hagrid gets kicked out.
Yep.
For letting the snake loose in the Chamber of Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least that's what I read in the Daily Prophet. I guess there was more to it. I guess
right.
It was Hagrid may or may
Did
not
anybody
have been
apologize to him? Did he could he have sued the Ministry of Magic and been like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, like that's.
But then he lets Buckbeak scratch Malfoy and he gets fired.
That's true. Well, maybe he should have been.
I mean, they got. I mean, they got a freaking Cerberus garden thing. There's trolls in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
What is going on there?
Yeah, honestly, let's when you look at Hagrid and what happened, I mean,
we need an investigation.
And Hagrid should have been investigated for several things. To be honest with you, it's a little crazy. He's assaulting Muggles and letting wild beasts, attack students. It's crazy.
Dumbledore is just willy-nilly over there. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll just do this, just do that.
Yeah, crazy. Like, oh, a boy was attacked by a hippogriff. Okay, 5 points to Gryffindor. Like, yeah.
Somebody posted a meme the other day, or on TikTok, and it was pretty funny. And we can close up here. I posted this thing on TikTok the other day. And it was really funny, and it's like me as a Slytherin student in Hogwarts, and they're like airing the audio of the first movie, and it's like, dude, yes, we won the House Cup.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, this is awesome, and then they're like, wait, what's going on? Like, and they're just giving all these points to like Harry and everything.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's crazy. That is crazy, man. It's one of the things too, like in Puffs, the play. It's Matt. I'm just gonna give you just one thing.
Is it on YouTube or what's it on?
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
I'll even see if I can gift it to you because it's so good. There's a point early on, they go year by year, 7 years, they do the whole thing, and it's a story of these puffs. And the main character, his name is Wayne, and he dreams of being like the he makes these jokes. He wears like a Batman shirt, and he's from America, but like he's actually adopted by his uncle. He's formerly British, and it's crazy. He goes to Hogwarts, air quote, and he gets sorted into House Hufflepuff and into the Puffs. And so once he gets sorted and all the Puffs are in their Puff common room, there's an older boy who walks in, and he's like, "Welcome to like Hufflepuff," and it's Cedric. It's Cedric Diggory.
No.
Walks in greeting the first years, right? He's greeting them in their first year. It's Harry Potter's first year, and it's Wayne's first year, and Wayne is in House Hufflepuff, and Cedric is greeting him. And they start talking about how this year it's going to be different. Every year we've been in last place, always in last place. We've got it this year. And they do this chant. They all get in there like third or nothing. So they're going for third place, At the end of the first movie, if you remember, they're in third place, right? Gryffindor is in last. And they're all
right.
Like, the Puffs are like, let's go, we got this. And so like, just like the Slytherins are like getting those points, the Hufflepuffs are like losing their absolute minds. We finally got third place, and you're taking that from us. Because like Gryffindor goes to the top and everyone else gets pushed back down. I was losing my mind in year one.
It's
and every
ridiculous.
year it gets better and better. So yeah.
What even happens to the Hufflepuffs going to, I mean, you lose track, like,
Well, that's the thing. This is a great, actually, this play does a really good job of it. Each like so year two, there's a famous Hufflepuff who, when Harry is talking to the snake, I forget which one it is, which character it is that he's talking to, but it's a Hufflepuff. That snake is looking at a Hufflepuff, and so in the play they amplify. It's one of the Puffs, and that they have an actor that comes out that plays Harry, and it's a girl, Harry, and she got the glasses and stuff,
right.
And she's like talking to the snake and parcel, and then like but what the Puffs heard was like, whoa, woogity boogity, like go get the freaking, go kill him, and the Puffs are all in their common room, like talking about what should we do? Like, guy's gonna kill us, and that's kind of the funny. They tell the story of the Puffs. There was one year where like literally nothing is said about Hufflepuffs. The guy who's the narrator walks out. He was like, and in year 6, nothing happened.
I don't think there's anything. Well, there has to be some of
there's something. There was something
at like the Slug Club and stuff like that.
Yeah,
year 7, I don't think we see any of the Hufflepuffs.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we don't really spend any time at Hogwarts.
Year 6 and year 7, Matt, I cried. Actually, in year 4, you know what happens in year 4, right?
Well, Cedric dies.
Dies. Dude, Matt, there's a line where he comes up. He's teaching Wayne. Wayne can't do magic. Wayne gets one spell right. Accio book. And he gets the book. And then Cedric, like, he has helped Cedric during the trials a couple times. And Cedric comes up to him. He's like, Wayne, after this last trial, when I return, I'm going to teach you everything I know about magic.
No.
And you're like, oh my God. And you're watching Wayne is lighting up. He's like, let's go. I love you, Cedric. Like, he's so into Cedric. And so he's like, he goes back and tells his friend, like, Cedric's going to like teach me everything when he comes back. And we're all sitting there, dramatic irony is building. We're like, Cedric dies. We know he's going to die. And it's just crazy. So sad.
Hey, Newt Scamander's Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Tonks. I think Tonks is a Hufflepuff. Or no, wait. Hold on, wait. Known. Let's see. Famous.
No, Tonks, I think, is a.
Yeah, I think I'm wrong there. Famous Hufflepuffs. Besides Helga.
Lupin.
Cedric. Let's see. Tonks. I think I was right.
Teddy Lupin. Lupin's son.
Yeah, I think Tonks is.
Tonks is.
Yeah, okay. Sweet. Yeah. Anyway, Puffs are freaking awesome, and I'm all for it. That's why I also like. I would love to see if they do something new in the HBO, like Harry Potter streaming thing. Like, give us a Slytherin perspective, or have Draco come back as a professor, and maybe he's changed. He grew up, and I think what was said, or I don't know where this was at, but like I think Draco, and this could have been Lottie who was telling me this, says to like Potter or to Hermione or whoever that like he was just jealous. He envied their friendship, and it's everything he wanted, kind of thing. I don't know if it's actually said like that or if it's just implied, but like he grows up and realizes like he is his father's son. Like he was raised to hate, muggles and mudbloods and whatever, and so it'd be cool to see him come back and have a little redemption arc or something. Who knows? So
yeah, was Lavender Brown a Hufflepuff? No, she's a Gryffindor, I think.
Let's see here. Full list of Hufflepuff characters. There was Finch Fletchley, who's the guy. I think that's the one who it's either him or Ernie McMillan is like the snake is like freaking out on him. Let's see, traits. The Fat Friar. Let's see. Yeah, bunch. There's a lot of them mentioned in the first book. Huh.
There's not that many. There's really, I mean,
Who's and Bones.
Sprout, Professor
Hannah
Sprout's a
Abbott.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Ernie McMillan, Zachary, Zacharias Smith is right, the chaser captain of the Hufflepuff Quidditch team, member of Dumbledore's army. He's the one who kind of mouths off to them. Leanne, who's a friend of Katie Bell's, witnesses her being cursed. Let's see. Yeah, Teddy Lupin, as you said. And then some other ones I don't remember. But yeah, anyways, I mean, freaking Hufflepuffs unite. Let's go.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, with that, I think that's a good place to close up shop. Thanks as always for supporting us here on Patreon or Apple Premium Podcast. We'll be back once I watch the second Fantastic Beasts movies, and we'll dive into that, and perhaps I'll probably like it a bit more. Again, this movie I wasn't necessarily out on. It was just sort of It was okay. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Just like Hufflepuff.
Yeah, towards the bottom. Yeah.
Third place. No. So awesome. All right, guys. With that, be sure to keep your wands at the ready.